What about the afterlife, dog?
What do you mean? Like, what?
If we supposedly if you get buried, I don't know.
Oh, so like if you
give away your body, dog, you don't want it.
Oh damn! It's like you ungrateful bitch.
Yeah.
I don't think God's gonna be like, hey, where are your eyeballs? What did you do? I gave you 2. Where you should have?
I got my shades
You should have
on.
at least 1.
According to some radical people, that he is.
I think like wherever I go, I'm gonna have shades on.
No.
In the afterlife, it'll be some nice like Versace ones though.
You know, and that's one of my Are there T-shirts in heaven? That's one of my things.
For your sake, I hope there is.
Yeah,
and socks.
It's awesome. For everybody's sake, I hope there is.
Is it really heaven, God? I don't have any T-shirts. We're all naked.
Are we gonna go right into the GOAT or what?
That still hurts. That still hurts.
About the GOAT, bro.
Tom Brady.
Oh.
So he got divorced, and honestly, when a champion gets divorced, I'm just like, yeah, that's
he was already divorced.
Nah. Well, I think
It's
the
final.
divorce was.
It's final now. God.
I think the divorce was a year or 2 ago, and whenever that happens, like it happened with Michael Jordan, I'm like, yeah, he was really busy, and she was ungrateful, so they're going to leave him.
Man,
but it came out that Giselle is in a relationship now with this dude. And it turns out that he was her personal trainer, and their relationship started during the marriage, not after or during the divorce.
So he's not the GOAT then.
He's the GOAT.
Not according to her. The GOAT's a personal trainer.
You notice that they never asked.
Damn,
they never
for
asked.
real?
Damn, that's.
I mean, you're not the GOAT, dog.
Then
I know you're a Patriots fan, and it hurts.
it's not just that. It's that I mean, it's like I kind of want to believe in love. Do you believe in love after? Like Cher.
Oh, life after love. So
yeah,
she's
it's life
talking
after
about,
love. I get it, but can't anybody do it?
That's the sacrifices of being the GOAT, bro. You spend
Absolutely.
time away from home. You spend time away from your family, and whatever her name is, his wife, she probably was lacking attention and wasn't getting what she wanted. And
I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna dig in on the slide in. Dudes who slide in, I hate y'all dirty. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to talk to y'all like y'all listen to this podcast, because if you're listening to this podcast, you're better than them motherfuckers.
I hope they're listening so we can get more listeners.
I'd rather have one listener than
a real one.
Than them.
Whatever.
Shout out to
them,
Lance, dog.
What's up, Lance?
And Lamar.
Lamar, what's up?
He's next door.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't listen anymore because he listens live.
Yeah. Okay. So, then why do we insist? I don't know. I think society kind of makes them get married.
Who?
The champions. It's like somebody should pull a fly. Like,
Look,
we gotta go.
Think about it. He's the GOAT, but you don't see how he.
Ryan Garcia just got divorced, so this is boxing relevant.
Ryan Garcia's a 25-year-old. I don't know how old he is, but
Right, I think you're right.
that kid is young, bro.
Yeah.
You're talking. I mean, when you're that young and that rich,
And I'll tell you straight up,
and good looking.
The Christians be saying, get married.
But you know what though, man? I think regardless of them, their status as an athlete,
Yes.
they're human. They're human, and of course they fucking want to have a family and, settle down. I think Derek Jeter did it right, He was like, fuck it. He found his wife, I think later on in his career, didn't do all that stuff. He said he didn't want to have no kids until after, because a lot of these guys like fucking Club Shay
Shannon
Shay,
That's another one.
it's like that because they understand, dude, like it's going to be hard. You got to understand that my sport, my craft comes first. You know what I mean?
So you gotta that, and that's the thing.
And a lot of them are like, "Oh, yeah, I totally understand. I'll be there for you."
And
Okay,
Tom Brady, I think that might have been. I'm not gonna say that was his mistake, but come on, bro. He married a model. That requires a level of attention.
I mean, he's good looking himself.
No. I'm not saying that he should have married ugly. You want to get happy for the rest of your life? Get yourself an ugly wife. I'm not saying he should have done that. I'm saying that when it's like we were talking about chicks who post on Instagram too much. Okay, honestly, me, if a chick posts more than 5 times on Instagram in a week, I'm done. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Because she requires that level of attention. And Tom Brady marrying a model, she requires that level of attention. And if she don't get it from you, she gonna get it.
Inevitably, she probably will get it from somebody else. Just like we were talking is like fucking all that time that she was alone or whatever, and obviously the dude probably listened to her, and the vulnerability, and
I'm just getting mad.
And then the slip.
It's those dudes that listen. Like, I mean, guys, okay, and I was telling Coach this. I don't date chicks who I don't like listening to, because I know how that sounds, and I'll just stand by it. But if I don't like listening to her, what I'm doing is just revving her up for some guy to come by and say, "Oh, tell me more." And for some reason, women get wide-ons for that. They like, he listens to me. And then that's an end.
Yeah.
Now, but my question is this. Is it okay for women to have male personal trainers? And women in relationships, not just like women, but.
If the man, if the husband, are you saying married women or just women in general?
Women in relationships. I got a girl and she's like, "Hey, Adam, I started seeing a personal trainer." I'm like, "Oh, cool." She's like, "Yep, so Bob's going to pick me up today or come by." I'm like, "Oh, should I
let Maggie answer the question, or should I?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Your experience.
You live longer than me.
I feel like if the man, the other half, we're talking about women now, right?
Yep.
If the partner does his job, listens, takes care of her, pampers her, gives her everything she requires to be fulfilled as a person, women are different than men. Her eyes won't be wandering. So she'll be content and happy. And guys will spit game at women all the time, bro. Like, being a woman is fucked up, because as soon as you get to the corner and there's guys that are out there rude as hell, like, "Hey, what's up?"
Mm-hmm.
There's guys that are charmers. They have to deal with all that bullshit.
The ducking it left and right. I get it.
So they're more vulnerable training with the coach and having a person they have a one-on-one with. But if they're fulfilled, they're good, in my opinion.
Okay, so
and then it's like we had this topic yesterday. We had this subject at my house yesterday with my son and his friends. I said, only you know how she is with you when you're alone. Nobody else knows how. You know what you guys feel with each other
right.
If she's content and she's happy, you'll know it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my situation, my hypothetical situation. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see Bob, the personal trainer." Then I have to make sure. Okay, wait. Am I doing everything that I need to be doing so she can just focus on sit-ups?
But that should be normal. You should when you're courting her or dating her. You have to do everything. Man, bro.
Don't stop. I agree. Don't stop. Don't stop once you achieve.
I told you about my boy who gave me the biggest lecture growing up. Never stop being her boyfriend.
Yes.
No matter how much you're married to her, no matter how long you're with her, she's always your girlfriend. Because when she was your girlfriend, you did everything to please her. You shared your food with her. Most fucking men don't even want to share food.
Or drink water out of the same cup.
Really?
Yeah. For real.
Little things, bro, that mean the world to them. But when we start being, "I don't want to share nothing with you," like men are the most fucking selfish motherfuckers when they're complacent with their partners.
Cross that finish line and just start acting like, taking it for granted.
Yeah, never stop being her boyfriend.
See, and this is the thing that I get it and I understand, but I'm like, okay, every time a woman cheats, it's the man's fault. And this is just like, you got to make sure you're doing what you're doing and keep them from cheating. But then at the same time, I understand the wisdom you're sharing. But I'm just like, you bitch. You know what I mean? It's like, you just want to, because if a guy cheats, then and I can say this on record, I've never cheated. Yay, me. But I know that if I
played the
but also because that's pretty much because I was just like, hey, if I wanted to cheat, I've always say, hey, we should see other people. And then
whack. I've had to tell somebody I don't want to be with you no more because I'm about to be with somebody else.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. But I know that if I cheat, I'm not gonna be like, well, you weren't, I had other needs that you weren't. The guys can't do that. Guys can't do the, well, I had other needs thing. Right?
You can. We
have a bunch of needs, but guys can't. It's like, oh, you just wanted pussy. That's what we'll get. It's like, no, I like having somebody. She came to my boxing matches, or she laughed at my jokes, stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's honestly, that's probably the.
But it changes from men through the years. When men are young, all they want is to stack their numbers. As they get older, they want a relationship. And when they get way older, they want something very serious now.
What's way older?
40 and up.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But you know, it all comes down to like that situation, and it's very common, man. That's why a lot of people always have opinions about it, right? Like, oh, I don't know, man, that's fucked up. Like, how could she do that? Blah, blah, blah. She knew what she was getting into. It all comes down to communication. Like, what happened? You guys didn't fucking communicate.
I think that's, I've come to learn, and like of all the failed relationships I've had, I always attribute, I've looked back and said, oh, okay, all of those, it was bad communication. You know,
there's something happened along the line where something you didn't like that you didn't say nothing about, you know, or vice versa. However, and if you don't, and that shit just starts compiling until one day, boom, it just fucking bursts. You know?
I'm just looking forward to seeing that. I remember when I started comedy, there was no comedian, and there probably still isn't. Probably Nate Bargatze's the one. Every comic, by the time he did his second album, was divorced. He was started his first album. Well, they're now called specials, but when I was coming up, your special was an album, and you'd have an album. It was like my wife, blah blah. By second album, so I got divorced. And I even told my wife when I started comedy, I was like, my goal is to still have a wife by the time I have my second album.
It's interesting though, right? You're communicating emotions, feelings, whatever. You're communicating that to people, but you don't know how to communicate in your own relationship.
I don't even think they're being communicated well. Because now that I'm not a comedian, I'm using a mature, healed brain. It's a lot of the things that I hear comedians say, I'm like, oh, that's the stupid you were selling me. You know, like if you get any relationship advice from a stage or you take any perspective from a comedian on stage, you deserve whatever freaking relationship hell you're in, because that's not reality. That's just somebody up there making jokes. You know, I get no respect. Rodney Dangerfield, absolutely one of the greatest of them. But you know, he hated his. No, he didn't hate his wife, but as his jokes, she was the butt of his jokes a lot of times. His marriage was the butt of his jokes a lot of time, and you can't do that. You know, because one of the things that I learned post comedy is that what comes out of your mouth designs your universe, designs your world.
Oh, absolutely. Not even that, bro. The thoughts that you think have a lot of fucking effect.
You know, right now Maggie said something that hit me when she said that most people don't know how to communicate. You know, I think like when you said Rodney Dangerfield and that the butt of his jokes is most men at that age, they don't talk to their wives no more, so they become enemies.
Oh man,
and that's why they bicker and they fight back. You know,
there was a skit on In Living Color about this old couple that kept trying to kill each other. They just killed, like he was like, hey baby, you dropped your purse, and when she go to pick it up, he'd like swing a bat at her and just miss, and she wouldn't even notice. And she like, oh, look over there, and she'd poison his drink, and then he'd accidentally knock it over.
But that's what no more communication. I know it's a skit and it's funny, but
yeah,
it's the truth though. They start as nothing better than watching two old couples argue with each other.
I
bro.
live with it.
Yeah.
I live with it.
How's the communication?
So I'm just like, I'm never getting married, bro. Nah, it's like, it's funny, man. My parents, they'll just like bicker and then it'll escalate. It's like, well, you. And I'm just like, oh my God, both of you. So I'm kind of glad I'm there. I'm kind of glad because they like to blame each other. I was like, no, both of you.
Maggie comes out with the yellow, white and black stripes with the flag in the back, you know?
No, she's got the blue one on. She looks like, what's the guy with the wide eyes?
Oh, the boxing.
Yeah, the boxing referee.
The one I got the blue.
But you know, it's like it's not just like communicating and yeah, but you gotta learn to listen, because a lot of times they're not listening. They only want to get their fucking point across. No, me, you know, we're selfish. As people, we're selfish, man. We only see we only see what we see. You know.
I'll say this: it's hard to listen when you're not being listened to. That's
true.
So it's like somebody in the fight has to say, you know what? I'm gonna acknowledge them, what they just said, so that they will maybe acknowledge what I just said, you know, because that's two people just trying to be heard and nobody's trying to listen to that.
Right.
Point. So it always takes a maturing in the somebody has to be the bigger person in like every relationship.
That's wisdom though.
I'm telling you, like I've looked back on every relationship. The next relationship I have, ladies, I'm single right now, but I'm going to tell you this.
It's been a year since this motherfucking podcast.
The next person I'm with is going to be in a very healthy relationship. It may not last long because that's going to be on you. It's going to be, but it's going to be so healthy. Okay. I'm telling you, I got the key.
So healthy, like the COVID virus.
This food.
Do you guys have like those goats, relationship goats in your life? Like, oh man,
It was Tom Brady, but not no more.
no, I'm talking about personal. Like you're like, okay, if I get married, I want a relationship like that.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Jesus Christ, this guy's not listening.
He's already married though.
Like my man, he's like, my godfather, Gordy, and his wife Nan.
Everybody that I looked up to growing up has fucking got divorced.
Really?
So I don't look up to nobody.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard.
My parents are still married, man, but they bicker a lot. I don't want that. But I mean, I guess it's normal. They've been together forever.
What about in movies, stuff like that? Do you guys have like?
No.
Do you
movies?
So how do you? So you do it yourself?
Honestly, my in-laws.
Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah, they're badass.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
they crossed the border walking together.
Wow.
They walked for 3 days, and I was talking to my father-in-law one day. He said they walked 3 days to the mountains, and they got to their destination. They started working for people, doing their thing, working for people, and my in-laws, by the time they've been together 40, almost 50 years already. They own 3 houses and they live very well. He just retired. Who would have thought those two couples, that couple walking through the mountains would have achieved what they achieved, because they're solid and strong for each other.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like you set your being strong for each other.
For each other.
That's
really and my mother-in-law never oversteps my father-in-law. My father-in-law never oversteps my mother-in-law. That's one thing that I really love about them. And they communicate.
Mm-hmm.
They communicate. They don't. I think I've seen them fight one time, and there wasn't even a fight. They just had like words, and they both got embarrassed and they shut up. But, yeah, that was it. One time.
Yeah, it's funny. My parents are like old school. Like they won't argue in front of people, but they'll save that shit when they get home, bro. No, it's not that bad though. It's never like crazy.
But that's because you're part of them.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You're part of. They're
part of the unit.
If they can't be themselves with you, they can't be themselves with nobody.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what's funny though, man? Like my dad will go grocery shopping or some shit, and then he'll take like a little bit too long. My mom's like, "Where's your dad at?" And the other way around too, man. Your mom taking a long time. Like, oh my god, man, y'all, I can't.
They missing it. They probably don't realize that they missing each other.
Yeah.
They start going with.
They don't know how to tell each other they love each other.
God,
so they just turn it into anger.
They're hilarious, dude.
Man, we getting crazy close to the fight I'm looking forward to. It might be. I want to say this might be the one I'm looking forward to the most this year, but the Joshua fight.
Wait, before we go into that, you want to go right into that?
Doesn't matter.
Let's go into that. I was talking somebody, a good friend of mine. He asked me, "How come everybody's talking so much about Joshua and Ngannou?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking
Francis
mismatch on paper, but you're gonna get mad about Canelo versus Munguia." And this guy, he's so right. Why do we pick so much on nobody? I don't remember nobody picking so much on Mayweather when he asked to fight McGregor or Andre Berto. And everybody's nitpicking everything Canelo's doing. I think Canelo will fight Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if September or in May of next year, but he's gonna fight him.
And I think that's the problem boxing has right now is we hear more about the fights they don't want to fight than we hear about the fights they're gonna fight. So Munguia, am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Munguia. Honestly, he looks like less of a, because everybody's like, oh, Benavidez, he walked away from Benavidez. He looks like he's gonna be easy work, less than for Canelo.
And you never know, man. Styles make fights.
Joshua walked away from Wilder.
He did?
I mean, they didn't fight. They never did it.
Yeah, they never fought.
And Joshua had all the. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't be bringing that fight up because I don't know who's the one that decided not to fight each other. But that fight never took place, and it should have been a great fight.
It would have been. But I think the Francis, I think the Ngannou fight and the versus Joshua is that a mismatch?
Yeah, it's not even a fucking boxer.
Okay.
He fight, yeah, he can fight.
Okay,
Or earn your stripes. There's fighters on fucking trying to earn those stripes forever.
I think the argument is his performance with Tyson Fury. I think that's why people are
if Tyson Fury, if he had not knocked down Tyson Fury, this would not be happening.
I mean, dude, he went the distance, and he actually, in some points, like he won some of those.
And I blame Tyson Fury for that. Did he take this shit serious?
Yeah.
Did he think it was an easy fight? Like, I know boxers, and I know if we're in the cage with the MMA guy, they'll kill us. But I know when MMA guys spar us, it's like a field day. We have fun with them.
Yeah.
You get your occasional fucking guys that can fight, bro, that throw fucking haymakers, but it's very rare. And we go in the cage with them, they'll kill us. You know, I'll give them that, you know. Mm-hmm. But in the boxing ring, it's all we do.
I just got an idea. It just came to me on this podcast.
I'm scared.
Jake Paul versus Francis Ngannou.
I knew it, man. I knew you was going to say
versus Francis Ngannou. Like, we don't like Jake Paul. No. Okay,
he's never gonna fucking call him out, bro. Like he
called out.
Bro, he's making easy $20 million every fight. Dog. We're stupid enough to buy his fight. So
no, we
not us personally, but people are buying them. That's why he's fighting these fucking dumbass people.
He beat up somebody's Uber driver this weekend.
Yeah, bro. If he was to fight somebody, you know, decent or good, I mean, it'd be a different story. But he's fighting people that fuck.
And that's why we should send Francis to get him.
You know, to his credit, I get it. You know, when you build up a fighter who didn't, I guess, you know, maybe didn't have the greatest, not long of an amateur career. Yeah, you fight him against guys to build their confidence, but they're not charging fucking million. They're not charging fucking pay-per-view money to see that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and I somewhere in his brain. It's just like you listen to him and watch me like, holy fuck, this guy
I feel like
he's a real boxer.
In 40 years, we're going to be talking about, did you guys remember the Jake Paul guy?
Oh, no.
That guy was a fucking joke, wasn't he? Like, who was so stupid to watch him fight?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like,
he's got those backyard boxers. That's his fan base. Those guys.
It's all the kids in the Midwest.
It's all the YouTube fucking people that he garnered along the way. But I don't even like giving that food power by even saying anything, but I will say this, and I'll probably not ever touch on it again. The reason why I don't like him, and not even just in boxing, who is he? All he is a persona. Boxing is about the story, bro. Like how you inspire other people. He is not inspirational. You know what I mean?
I told Jay from Hot Boxing Minute. He asked me about, I think it was his first or second fight. He asked me what I think about him. I said he's gonna get a lot of kids hurt.
Yep,
because a lot of kids are gonna fucking look up to him and think they could go in the ring, and they're gonna get fucking knocked out by the kid from the hood, dog.
Yeah, bro,
you know what I mean?
For real. But you know, the thing is, I don't know who he is. Like, who is he? Like, he's putting on a persona. You don't know, like, what is really. Why not just be yourself, be genuine, and put your real story out there? There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to fucking put on this front and like be all like out like super. Just the way he comes off is not only fake, man, but it's arrogant. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just not appealing, you know?
It is. It's arrogant, and it does have a huge hint of I guess fakeness to it. Like,
yes, it's fake and it's phony, and like that's the shit that I don't like. You know what I mean?
It's like it feels like I'm watching an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, every time, like this, I saw a clip of the weigh-in. He was like, "I'm dialed in. I'm dialed in." I'm like,
it's WWE shit. Take that shit to the WWE, bro.
There
like, boxing is like, for me, it's about fucking inspiring people with the shit that you overcome to get to where you're at. You know.
And just doing hard work.
Yeah.
And accepting hard work.
And I'm sure he is fucking working hard, whatever. But like I'm saying, you still do not have to put on the fucking fake shit.
This is my question, and I'm not very proud of it. I'm embarrassed that I brought this up on this podcast. I am. So I want to say that we're talking about this guy, and it's my fault. But he could, at any time, he could file a license, go pro, and fight professional boxers, right? Mm-hmm. Paul.
What do you mean? What?
He can fight.
He's fighting pros.
Is he fighting pro?
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's not fighting.
He's fighting whoever he wants to pick. MMA guys.
Are his fights exhibition or are they professional bouts?
Professional bouts. He's on BoxRec.
He is?
Yeah.
He fought Tommy Fury. He's a fucking professional boxer too. I know it may not seem like it, but
it just seems like everybody he's fighting at such levels, you'd be like, I mean, what was he fighting?
That's the fucked up thing about the commissions that allow this shit, dog. There's money. Money talks, bullshit walks.
Yep.
He's 9-1 on professional boxer.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. I don't understand, like, and it's weird because you don't know if he's really taking this shit seriously. Like, if you really are, then start boxing boxers.
Okay, I'll say this to his defense, not to his credit, to his defense. maybe he's a puppet. Maybe someone's just got him believing the hype, and one day he's just gonna come face to face with. They're gonna put him in the ring with the Wilder. They're gonna put him in the ring with Fury. You know, and he's really gonna think that he's about to do it.
Well, they did put him in there with the Fury, and he
not that one, the other one.
We stop talking about this fool. He's not even worth talking about.
True.
Okay, my bad. All right.
Max has a question.
Oh yeah. So I'll have just quick question, little podcast trivia. What sport do you guys think that the national anthem was first played? You guys, I know one of you's got to answer this, right?
I'm gonna say baseball.
There you go.
Okay.
You guys love baseball.
Such a pastime. That's
yeah. 1918.
1918?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chicago.
Was that World War II?
White Sox.
Chicago against
New York.
Red Sox?
Yep, Boston.
Okay.
Babe Ruth's Boston.
Oh
yeah.
Wow. That's nice.
World War I was pretty much like there was a band there, and they just kind of played it spontaneously. It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned or anything. Yeah. So that's where it really stemmed from. Didn't become official till I'd be like 1936 or something like that. But that's pretty much when, or 1960s. I can't remember exactly, but that's the first time that like it started to become what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
which is like this kind of. I don't even know how to explain it.
Well, a lot of people think it's political.
Yeah, it's a marketing ploy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
But that's not what it stemmed from. It was like patriotism.
Patriotism.
Yeah.
And I am I a patriotic person? Yes, fairly. You know, like, am I honest? I'm like, you know, I'm a patriot. I'm a patriotic person the same way I'm an American, the same way I'm a Christian. Slavery. So it's like I'm not gonna like what, you know, like I would not be a Christian. I'm a Christian, but I'm like, it has, you guys did some bad things, and I'm an American. Like, yeah, there's a reason. There's a way I got here. Yeah. So like I'm honestly patriotic. I love my country, and it stops. I don't get out of hand with it. I don't get out of pocket with it. Okay, but the standing for I love the standing for the national anthem in sports. It's so kind of forced. It feels like if you don't do it, this church I used to go to, we had to stand for like freaking probably 4 or 5 songs every service.
I never understood any of that,
and I hated it. Sometimes I
control.
Yeah. Sometimes I just sat, but I felt like I was, you know, I felt like I sat to be comfortable, but I felt like I was being rebellious, you know. So that's how I look at
I mean, dude, being in the military,
having to sing the national anthem.
They played every single day at 8 a.m. So a lot of us, but it's only if you're out, like if you're inside, I'm not going to go into it, but like every day is a thing. At 8 a.m, you had to listen to the fucking anthem, bro. And if you were outside, you're saluting. Okay. So like the whole time you're like this, dude. So it's, I get it. It became, I was like, what am I, like, what's going on?
That's
here?
kind of brainwashing.
A little too much. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, yeah.
That's the biggest brainwash, the military.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so great. Like that. I'm kind of more comfortable talking about Jake Paul. Because we got 2 flags. We got 2 flags at the gym. You know, we got like, and I'm starting to like other countries' national anthems better.
You do notice, though, they don't like, at least to any of the boxing fights that we've been to, there hasn't been a national anthem, and there isn't one in the UFC. I know that.
No, I just noticed that.
Yeah, they don't do it. It's too much.
Not this last one, but the last one. There was 2 Mexican fighters, and there was a flag running around, and I'm like, that guy's happier with his flag than I am mine. And I got a flag. I got a flag in my living room.
Yeah.
And but it's you know the story on that flag.
Which one?
The one in my living room. I used to like clean houses like that were getting torn down, stuff like that, and I got this flag. And Duck was helping me one time, and Duck is a veteran. So I was like, hey, Duck, this flag is, you know, this guy, he was a veteran, and this is his flag. So I want you to here's his flag. And Duck was like, nah, no thanks. And I didn't have it in me to let the flag go with the trash that we're having. So it came home with me. Then I just like, I'll just hang it over this door. And it just stood there.
I feel you. It's like throwing away any Jesus stuff. You're like, oh man, I don't think should I not do that?
What are you doing on this podcast? What are you doing? No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, I'm just going to give this to the Goodwill, I guess. I don't know.
Yo. So, but I mean, patriotism, I don't like how it acts like we have to be it.
Yeah.
You know, like I do think that people, hey, I bought tickets to come to this game, not to come stand for this song. You know, I think that that's fair. Plus it's like one thing I noticed prior to 2020, we saw a lot of Confederate flags.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right? We don't see them anymore because I think like the American flag has become like the new Confederate flag.
Which is bad, dude. That's exactly what our enemies want, is for us to turn against each other in our own home. That's exactly how you take over another country, man.
And she's military, so she knows that that's what they taught you.
Just saying, huh? Nah, but it's
divide and conquer.
It's been infiltrated. I'll tell you that. That's as much as I'll say.
Yep.
I don't want the CIA coming after me, you know.
I do, because that means they're listening to the podcast.
Got more listeners.
Matt, Coach,
next, dog?
Will you share your horse story? Because
that sounds bad.
It sounds like, okay, your story. Like, honestly, I finally got to the point where you had this incident and you're gonna tell it, but I got to the point where I could stop tearing up while thinking about it. And I'm like, oh, well, I think we can have Coach talk about it on the podcast.
I'll talk about it briefly.
Yeah.
But I don't want to what is that word? I don't want to make anybody think like what I think. You know, it's like, I'll tell you, I was riding horses with like 15 of us. It was our cousins, my son, me, all of us. And we crossed this river in Tijuana on the outskirts in the mountains. And when we're crossing the river, I feel that there's a current. We get past the river. We get all the way through. One of our little nephews dropped his hat and his jacket. So we went back again. 3 of us, only the most experienced riders. So as we're going back in the deepest part, my horse starts like not deciding if he wants to go back. I'm controlling him, so I'm not letting him go back. He's fighting me. So he kind of jumps a little bit inside the water, and I lean forward. Once I lean forward, my boots are backwards. I'm trying to put my boots forward because when a horse swims with his back feet, he kicks forward.
Right.
So as soon as he kicked forward with that back foot, he caught my spur, and he spun me right off of the horse.
Oh, yeah.
So when he spun me off, I hit the water hard, and then he was swimming, but he threw two swipes with his front hands. If he would have hit me with either one of those two, he would have knocked me out and I would have drowned, or he would have killed me. So, and as soon as I went down, he missed both those. He kind of lined up again and he's ready to head out.
Mm-hmm.
I swear he was maybe 1.5 feet from me, if that, but I was wearing a jacket, 2 t-shirts, Levi's, my belt, boots, and spurs. And I tried to grab the saddle so he can pull me out on the way out. And I couldn't grab the saddle. I couldn't swim a foot because I was against the current. So as soon as he left, I said, hopefully I can grab the tail. And he was gone.
Grabbing a horse's tail, that's not recommended, is it?
It's not, but he can't kick because he's swimming.
Okay.
As long as he can pull me out of the current.
Right.
You know? So the water starts, I start going under. I start kind of like panicking. And like it's within like 10, 15 seconds, maybe less than that, where I start thinking, fuck, I'm gonna die.
Mm.
And then I start thinking, this is bad. You know, I don't want to be screaming in front of my son.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to die in front of my son.
Where was he?
Looking like a coward. He was like 15 feet away from me. He was outside the current. And I didn't want to scream because I didn't want him to come get me because of the current.
Right.
So I kind of just relaxed. And it was funny because I was like, all right, cool. This is where I'm going. And I was like, I can't explain the overwhelming sensation that I felt from head to toe. I felt so relaxed. I felt like at peace. It's awkward to say that, but that's how I felt. And I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to go. My head's still in the water, in and out a little bit, but I can't swim for nothing. As I'm accepting what's going to happen, a rope hits me in the chest, and it's my wife's cousin. He threw a rope at me, Blas. And this kid is younger than me. Every time I was with him growing up, I was always lecturing him and spanking him and yelling at him.
So he had a choice to make.
He's a married man now. He's a grown man. He's a ranch owner. You know, he's a big boy, man. He's like maybe 10 years younger than me. He threw that rope and it landed on my chest. At first, he threw it the first time and it was maybe like 8 inches away from my hand, but I couldn't even swim. I couldn't swim to it. Yeah. So then he rolled it up again and he threw it the second time and hit me right in the chest. I was so tired and fatigued that I just wrapped it around my left hand.
Oh man!
But I did it tight enough where I can hold it here, and there were like 4 knots right here, and he pulled me out. And I remember when he pulled me out, as he was pulling me out, I can feel my feet, my toes hitting the rocks. So I'm safe, but I don't want to let go yet. And then all of a sudden, my knees are scraping on the dirt, on the rocks, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I can let go now.
Just get up now.
And I let go. In the video, it looks like I'm fresh, but I was fatigued. I was tired. They stopped filming it, but once they stopped filming when they knew I was in danger.
Okay.
They were filming when I fell, and then they stopped filming because they knew it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And by that time, I remember I couldn't even get up. I couldn't get on the horse. And then the funny part is when I got on the horse, there's another river. It's like 100 yards away, and that river is like 200 yards long.
So you had to do it again?
Yeah, but that river was only to the horse's chest. Okay. Not even that high.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew the horse was paranoid because he was paranoid because he felt what I felt.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he got out the water.
Right.
So when we got in the water, I'm rubbing his neck, like letting him know it's going to be okay. And by that time we stayed in a single file line. So I was watching how deep the horse. I was the last one in the group.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, because my horse is petrified, so he has to go.
I've been like, call Uber.
Yeah, there's no Ubers out there. But that was an experience I'll never forget, man. That feeling of peace, and I can't explain what that feeling is.
Let go.
I wonder if that's that, like, serenity.
I guess Maggie told me that when I told her what had happened,
right?
And she told me that they trained them to relax because I guess when I relaxed and I just accepted it, I just relaxed, and the water kind of surfaced me to the top. Mm-hmm. But I was still under and out because all the clothes I was wearing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I was relaxed and I wasn't wasting no more energy. Mm-hmm. If I wouldn't have stopped trying to get out, I don't think I would have had the energy to wrap the rope around my hand.
You say in the military they train you just to relax?
Yeah. So two things real quick. So when you're in the Navy, they'll obviously, you got to prepare for like a man overboard, or, if some shit really happens. So in training, during boot camp, they'll put like these heavy ass clothes on you and boots and everything. And you got to go in the water and you got to last 5 minutes. You got to be in there. Fucking the first thing people do is start panicking, dude. You go like this and all your energy's gone. So what they do is they have you let the water go in to your clothes, and it'll become a floating device, and you just chill, you just float there, and that's your 5 minutes. But what happens when that panic sets in, bro? It's like fight or flight. So all the blood, everything, all your hormones and everything goes to your muscles. You know what I mean? You fucking tense up. And that's what gets you fatigued. All the hormones, everything, all that shit going through your body. Just like anything that causes fear in you, you know what I mean? Right. If you've ever felt like actual fucking fear, where you're just like, holy shit, you fear for your life, you start the heart rate elevates and all that. That's all part of it. You know what I mean? So it's like that, and then you get super fucking fatigued because all that shit just fucking release, and you're like, I can't even move right now, Yeah. So it's like fighters go through that. You know what I mean? When you get hit the first time, or when you're like, I don't think I can do this, when they start thinking I'm fucking tired and they get even more tired, that panic can set in the ring. And that's similar, probably not exactly the same, but a similar sensation of like, holy shit, I'm fucking tired, dude. I can't do anything else.
Being exhausted. Yes. Being exhausted and having to move that's where my comfort level or discomfort level is like, oh,
I remember.
I'd rather I kind of feel like I gotta piss myself. I gotta like.
I remember you're getting better about it now, but I remember when you sparred Coach. I was like, you need to tell your mind to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, because it's like that's when I'd be getting in the red. It's just like it's like I don't mind getting hit. I don't mind missing. I hate not being able to breathe. That's my thing.
But I'm very curious about that happened to you in your mind, as far as you becoming super at peace. It's just
that is some Jedi shit. That's some next level shit.
I just didn't want. I guess as a father, you're always trying to be a father. Mm-hmm. I didn't want my son to have a memory of me screaming to survive and then drowning.
Yeah,
and that would devastate my son.
That is so. Thoughtful.
That's the only thing I could think of. I don't want to die a coward in front of my son.
The amount of mindfulness that requires to be in that moment, to be that selfless in that moment, is just beyond. Because when Coach told me the story, I told you, I was like, it just every day I was like, fuck, I almost lost Coach. What am I gonna do if I lost Coach? I'm gonna go back to stand up.
You stupid, bro.
Literally, I felt lost.
You know,
at the idea of it.
I was just listening, and obviously I didn't let any of those thoughts get to me because I'm like, obviously he's still here, he's okay, you know. But yeah, I was definitely ready to listen to the story, like, you know, in person and the whole story, you know, because it always amazes me, like, you know what I mean, like people's mental process when they're going through shit like that.
I was telling Magz because when I was swimming hard, I swam hard for like maybe, I don't know, a minute. I was trying to, minute and a half. I was trying to get out of there. I was swimming so hard. I was trying so hard that my jacket had buttons right here. And the buttons came apart. They didn't fall off.
It's the best thing that could have happened.
So when I relaxed, all the water, like she said, all the water came in my jacket.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I just can't find the words to explain. Like, it's like, you know how you admire somebody, right? And then they do something, you're like, yeah, that's why I admire the shit out of that person. It's like, because they're able to go to that level of peacefulness and stuff like that. Have you ever had a near-death experience?
Near death. I'm not, off the top of my head, I can't really think about it right now. I think I told you where I've had situations like that, right? Well, you know, like when you're in car accidents, man, like, and it happens and like you feel like your legs turn jelly. That's all kind of like the same sensations. All the stress hormones releasing in your body, and you're just like, oh shit, you know, what the fuck, in your heart, and you know.
That's it.
Yeah, but I can't think of a scenario off the top of my head right now, man.
Have you?
I had one where I thought I was gonna die, but it wasn't like. It's one of the hey, Adam's a dickhead stories. So I was on a plane. It was 2012. Okay, so we're not that far from 9/11. All right, so let's just put that. And this Arab dude sitting next to me, and he's going through pictures on his laptop of this lady. Like, he's pressed the buttons, this lady and an empty airplane. Okay, and I'm looking over and like every picture, she's just in this empty airplane. Every picture, the same lady in this empty airplane.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, the fuck is this? So our plane hasn't left. I'm flying from San Diego to Dallas because I'm going back out to shoot, to finish shooting, work related. But I tell myself, and I've been watching a crap load of the name of that show, 24.
Yeah.
So,
oh, great.
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, this plane is not going to land on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, okay, well, you can alert somebody.
Yeah.
You know, you see something, say something, or you can just accept it. And I was like, I'm just going to accept it. I'm not going to say anything. I was going to do it. So like, that was my last, as far as I was concerned.
How the fuck is that near death?
I'm telling you, like, don't question me. Don't judge my experiences.
He was influenced by a TV show.
I was influenced. No, it wasn't just a TV show. It was the times. It was like the rampant fear that we were all feeling, you know, after 9/11. But when we landed, I was like, oh, thank you. Almost said something. Like, you dummy. But that, I always think back as like, I did accept. I said, well, I did accept the end fairly well.
Everything just a pure fixation of your imagination.
Oh yeah, it turned out to be absolute. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't want to leave something out about that story. But my aunt asked when I was telling my aunt about it. My aunt watches our podcast.
Oh, hey,
and she was telling me that I should share this part of the story, which I didn't want to share. But growing up, I've been riding horses since I can remember, right? And I never wore cowboy hats. I don't like cowboy hats. Never have.
I would see pictures of you out with your family. You out, no matter what you guys do, horses, guns, which is all you and your family do. That's weird. But I
don't know why.
They'll have cowboy hats on.
I just don't like. My son has them.
Yeah, they'll have cowboy hats on, but you'll just have a ball cap.
Yeah. I love that shit. And when my cousin, we laid her to rest. That weekend that happened, that I fell off the horse. We laid her to rest on a Saturday, but about 8 years before that, her dad had died. Her dad, my cousin's dad, had passed away. She was like in depression. I would call her to check up on her, and then one day she just says, "Are you going to go to the party this weekend?" And I'm like, "Only if you go."
Right.
She goes, "Okay." She goes, "You got to do me a favor." What? She goes, wear a cowboy hat for me. And I'm like, I don't have one. She goes, I'm going to give you my dad's. And I'm like, oh shit, her dad had died, you know? I said, all right. So I show up and I didn't know how to cheer her up. I'll get to the story. I had drank with her. People that know me, I don't drink much. I don't drink at all, really. That's the first time in my life I got drunk. I drank with her. I must have had like 20 shots with her.
Damn.
She gave me that.
Go from 0 to 60.
Fast. And I remember that I have that hat at my house. I didn't use it. So I haven't used it anymore. I just have it. I wore it that day for her. So when she passed away and they were having the services on Thursday, my wife says, on Saturday, they want everybody to wear cowboy hats. I don't have one. I don't want to wear her dad's hat. So I go buy one. The Boot Barn. I buy one and I wore it for the service on Saturday, you know? So Sunday I had a ride with Cisco and the family. I said, you know what? I'm going to wear this hat one more time for her. She always wanted me to wear one. I'm going to ride with her with this hat on. Well, everything that I told you that happened, I fell in the water. I got flipped upside down in the water. I got dragged out by a horse on the water. Tell me why that hat never came off.
The buttons on your shirt.
My buttons came off.
The buttons on the shirt come off.
Right when I hit the water with the horse, the hat should have came off.
Yeah.
When I was going in the water a foot or two under and getting back up and paddling with my hands, I just hit the headphones. It never came off. So If you believe in something like divine, was she watching me? Was it God's power? I don't know what it was, but it was something beautiful that I experienced.
I think, that whole moment, like I don't want it to ever happen again. But still, everybody gets one. But I think that's powerful.
I had one cousin ask me, do you believe in God now? And I'm like, bro, who said I never cared about God? Who said I didn't believe in him? Just because we don't all believe in God the same way, you know?
Is that a Christian person?
Radical. But I love him. He knows who he is.
There are those Christians that whenever you tell them something, they'll be like, so do you want to, you want to pray and accept Jesus Christ right now?
I told, not him, I told another cousin of mine, how many times can I accept Christ, bro? Because I accepted him already. Like, I have him in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
He's in my heart. Do I walk the same path you do? No, I don't.
That's what they want. They want.
But let's not talk about religion.
Jake, what were we talking about? We talked
Jake
politics.
Paul.
We talked Jake Paul, politics,
the best fighter ever, bro.
Gross.
Pound for pound.
So we got the Ngannou fight.
Yeah,
which actually probably should be the Jonathan fight, but it's the Ngannou.
Have you guys watched the Ngannou fight? Don't fucking talk shit about Canelo when he fights Munguia.
True.
Those are your orders. I don't think anybody's talking shit about Canelo for fighting Munguia.
Everybody calls him a coward, but they never fought.
I think the media is definitely that's the clickbait.
Yeah,
it's like how many people to click on this article? Listen to me talk about this. But I think your fighters aren't so. But that's when is the Munguia? When is Canelo? Is that May?
That's May 4th, but it's not.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Yep. And we got Ryan.
That's April 20th.
So we got
birthday.
We got 3 fights coming up. Real good. That's gonna be good.
I just caught Javid might be fighting. I'm not sure. The 16th of April, and then he fights again on May on the Canelo undercard.
What? That's back to back. That's a good fights.
And everything comes out good. He'll be 11-0.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Good for that kid.
Like,
subscribe,
commento,
share, compartan.
Tell your friends about it. Because this is a dope podcast.
Say like in Spanish.
Yo quiero talk about.
Gustar.
It's juicy. It's gustar.
How about share?
Share.
Do you believe in life after love?
Do you believe in life after love? Share. I get it.
Right.
This has been a Point and Yell production. Yeah, I think the words, but sometimes they don't come out of my mouth no good.